Hello everybody, Critical Rocket again today with the Executioner gameplay video. This will be from the Prime perspective, and the Prime's loadout is pretty straightforward, no muss, no fuss. It's a Gauss rifle, 2 ER large and 2 machine guns. Quite a Spartan loadout when you think about it on such a heavy mech at 95 tons. It represents the first clan, 95 ton in the game. And it looks fucking special. I mean, if you look back at the original Executioner, it was hideous. You wouldn't really look at it and go, "Wow, that's a cool looking mech." You know, you'd look at it and go, "That's an ugly fucking mech." It's up there with the Gargoyle, I guess, hence the names. But they've once again pulled it off, and they've made a bad mech look good. In my opinion, it has this like big like lower jaw of tusk like teeth that are all sort of, I don't know, they put me in mind of things like Pathfinder or D&D style like trolls or ogres. It just looks like a monster. And this can certainly be built to be that. At 95 tons, it's not going to be fucking around. It's going to be getting in there. And I guess you could essentially look at this as the clan version of the, let's see, the Banshee. By comparison. Although obviously this is a clan Banshee, which means it's a lot better, obviously. This has the distinction of having one of the new features in game, which is MASC, which you can see on the reticle there. You'll probably hear the beeping as well. MASC is a myoma accelerant signal circuitry. It was a piece of tech that was developed back in the... I can't remember if it's developed by the Wolf Dragoons or whether it's developed by Star League. I can't remember now. I think it's Wolf Dragoons. Basically, you stick it in the mech and you can push the mech beyond its standard speed limitations at the risk of basically shuddering, juddering and shattering the internal structure of the legs. So it's one of those things that you use in moderation, and in game it works a bit like jump jets, that you have a bar and it fills, and if you go into the red of that bar you start to take internal damage. And yeah, that's when you can very quickly blow your own mech up almost instantly if you're not careful, if you're taking leg damage. The system only weighs a couple of ton, which isn't a problem for a mech like this. Obviously for light mechs in the future it might be a slightly different, you know, toss-up whether you want it or not. Now the Executioner Prime is basically a... I don't know, it's like a ranged weapons platform, this one. The machine guns were originally intended for anti-infantry and soft target work, while the large lasers and Gauss is just meant to basically pummel targets from range. In-game, this loadout works fine. The chassis, I think, is near impossible for it to overheat. Unless you're standing in lava or something, or maybe on terra firma you might overheat, but the Gauss rifle and the 2R large lasers do not. Obviously the Gauss generating no heat, and the 2R large lasers have such a long burn time that they just can't overheat. As far as I'm aware though, this chassis will be very, very popular with people who enjoy the laser boating of the clan meta game at the moment. Much like the Gargoyle, it will be the type that will probably work very well with the likes of multiple mediums or medium pulses, or maybe even just a stack of larges. And the chassis isn't the prettiest. It's another humanoid mech. I know some people might complain about that, but overall it's a decent looking mech. Now I haven't actually had much of a chance to look at the other builds, but compared to the Cauldronborn, this isn't quite as malleable or flexible. You'll mostly be going for hard hitting kind of builds with this mech. I'd also like to point out in this video that 2 of my kills, in fact maybe the only 2 kills I get, are on light mechs with the Gauss rifle. Now whether this was just fluke or luck or maybe even, dare I say, skill, and bear in mind this is me, and if you've seen most of my videos I do lack that fabled skill. So yeah, I do take out a couple of lights with the Gauss rifle, which I was sort of like, am I really going to do this? I think, in fact, one of them's coming up now, and it's on this little fire starter. And yeah, he gets a leg blown off. Boom. There we go. I blow his fucking head off. One in the back. I'm just quite satisfied with it. I fucking hate fire stars at the moment. Yeah. So anyway, back on topic. Sorry. The Executioner is big, brutal mech, and it's gonna. I think with the MASC, it's gonna work well as a kind of surprise brawler. I don't think a lot of people are going to be expecting a mech that's at 95 ton to just sort of quickly charge into an attack roll like that, and it's certainly going to cause quite a lot of upset victories, I think, for a few people. So yeah, MASC is definitely something to keep an eye on, and it'll be interesting to see how MASC will integrate into the larger scope of Mechwarrior Online, and how that impacts things like the light mech category, and how that will affect future mediums and heavies and assaults that can equip this tech as well. Yeah, I mean, once again, I've kind of run out of stuff to say about the two chassis in particular. If you've seen my Golden Bone video, I kind of run short on that. If I had any, God, are there any drawbacks, any complaints? I guess, yeah, thinking about it, there are a couple. Arms are going to be much like the Gargoyle. If you blow the arms off an Executioner, it loses nearly all its weaponry. The stock loadout for this is a bit light on ammunition for the Gauss rifle, which means you can't fire it all day. So I would, if you're big on using your sniping weaponry, you may want to, I don't know, you probably want to just chuck out the machine guns, and maybe even drop the large lasers and put in some medium pulses or something, and add a bit more ammunition that way. But obviously there's something to say that you might not want to just jump this up to the new Ultra, like the new sort of faster rate of fire for the Ultra AC-20 that they changed more recently. So there's options. It's not like the Executioner is kind of hard locked. It's not like a Masakari or Warhawk where you kind of feel like it was built around having to use PPCs. Despite them giving you those options, this does feel like it's going to be a bit more sort of open-ended in how you want to build. Though as the stock loadout goes, I found this quite easy. I like simple loadouts for the weapons, and this mech is no fuss. The only problem I had was trying to find a new easy-to-use hotkey for MASC, which was one of the issues. MASC also has other uses other than speeding you up. It also allows you to reverse quicker, but also allows you to stop a lot faster if you suddenly realise you're going to run into something that you don't quite want to head into. You snap that MASC on while reversing and you'll come to a dead stop almost instantly. They've implemented this really well. It's not exactly like Mechwarrior, but then what piece of tech in Mechwarrior has translated across exactly the way it was on tabletop. But I don't think it's not gonna be a game breaker. It's not gonna change anything too drastically. I don't think people are gonna really have that much of a complaint about it. I'm not sure how much it'll get used. Obviously, with a strong emphasis on ammunition for your weapons, or just putting more guns on. I don't know, but yeah, overall, the Executioner is another good addition. It's great animations, great visuals. Overall, I feel that they've done a pretty good job of this for what was originally quite an ugly mech. And yeah, just sort of goes, yeah, it's third person at the end. It looks great. I mean, with the added geometry, it's quite fun mech to run. So thanks for watching, everyone. Again, comment, rate, subscribe. If you want to see me run any specific builds, just drop me a link to your Smurfy build for whatever version that you've come up with, and I'll be happy to get around to it when I can. So thanks for watching again. Critical Rocket signing out.